After a 2-hour drive, we got to the Badagry roundabout, signaling our arrival at this historic town.
Welcome to Badagry, a historic town on the coast of Lagos State, Nigeria, known for its rich cultural heritage and significance in the transatlantic slave trade. Badagry is a town with a storied past and a vibrant present. From the iconic Badagry Heritage Museum to the bustling streets of the town, we explore the sights, sounds and stories of this community. Come on, let's embark on this adventure together.
Badagry roundabout is the heart of the town, with cars, buses and motorcycles navigating through the intersection, surrounded by the street vendors and pedestrians going about their daily business.
I've had the privilege of sharing numerous stories from Badagry town, including the history of the slave trade and the point of no return, the unique sator drum beaten by orphans, and the condition of their roads, as well as the vibrant fish market, among others. Today, we are visiting the vacated slave market, where slaves were sold just like commodities.
Anogosho is a tour guide. Our first port of call was the vacated slave market. As we step into the vacated slave market, we are transported back in time to an era of unimaginable cruelty and suffering. This site, once a bustling hub of human trafficking, now serves as a powerful reminder of the atrocities committed and tribute to the victims of the slave trade.
Annually, about 17,000 slaves will be sold out from here. So this place happens to be the largest and the oldest slave market in Africa.
Can you tell me what's going on here?
This is a scene that happens here in the year 1825 by a man called Richard Lander and Hugh Clapantin. Richard Lander and Hugh Clapantin, they were on the way to Katunga, that is Old Oyo Empire, to visit the community. But they have been hearing about Badagry, an ancient town. So they decided to visit here before embarking on their journey back to Katunga, that is Old Oyo Empire. But to their surprise, where they are coming from, slavery has been officially abolished in the year 1807. And when they came, 1825, slavery, was still going on in Badagry. And it was just about 18 years after. You understand? So when they came, they were so surprised seeing the Portuguese still practicing slavery in Africa. So the Portuguese trader that saw them, felt threatening that they would go back to report the atrocity to the Queen of England. So they went to the then king and reported Richard Lander and Hugh Clapantin. They reported their visit to Badagry. And the king told Richard Lander and Hugh Clapantin that they know how to, test them or to know whether they came to spy on them or they came for a genuine reason. Because Richard Lander...
These are local chiefs.
Yes, because Richard Lander told them that they are just an explorer, that they came to make a research on a community called Katunga. Yes, because, this place itself, we have a shrine here called Vlekete Shrine. And the market was named after the shrine. You understand? The shrine is as old as Badagry Kingdom itself. That name Vlekete is an aquatic deity. And this deity, it is known for the goddess of winds, ocean and prosperity. And before slave trade started here, they have been using this arena for public trial by the traditional practitioners. So this is where they pass judgments to the offenders in the community. So they had to bring them down to the front of the shrine, and they call on the Voduno, that's the chief priest of the Vlekete Shrine. So he was the one that prepared the traditional concoction and gave it to Richard Lander and Hugh Clapantin to drink. But to cut the long story short, they survived the ordeal because that wasn't their intention of visiting Badagry. So after the whole trial, they now summoned some guards to follow them to Katunga, that is Old Oyo Empire. This is the dungeon. This is where the unsold slaves were being kept.
As we ventured deeper, we got to the dungeon, underground cells where countless lives were reduced to mere commodities.
These stairs are not originally here before. So it was newly built for people to have access to this place. Yes, ma'am. The unsold ones were being kept here, pending another 5 market days. You understand? It's because they spend the market once in 5 days. They defecate here, they hit here, and they still shackle them down. Especially the strong ones, the ones that they know they fight against their masters.
The use of iron muzzles, arrow shackles, ankle shackles, and wrist locks gives us a glimpse into the brutal reality of what our ancestors endured. But the full extent of their suffering is better imagined.
We have them like 3 categories of them here. These ones are the arrow shackle slaves. They put these shackles on their neck. You understand? For them not to penetrate the door, not to break out the door. So, and over here too, we have these guard slaves. Normally, they use guards for wild animals, like us, like dog. You understand? But then they use it for human being, for them not to communicate or not to bite their masters that will come down to feed them. Because sometimes they do, you know, they used to be aggressive. So if their masters come, they attack them too. Because that's the only way they can fight. And these ones are just the older ones. I want to see Darugbo, because they believe those ones don't have strength to fight against their masters. So they will just chain them down with those chains on their legs and their hands.
If I thought they escaped, why running into the forest? You see, the edges
will not allow
tangled by the branches of trees. So it will hold them down.
So it has a purpose.
Yes, it has a purpose.
Wow. And they will be captured.
Of course. They won't run too far. And all these shackles were very, very heavy. Not lightweight shackles.
Yes. But yet, they were not produced here in Africa.
Yes, they were brought by the Europeans.
This is a terrible experience for the ancestors. And it shouldn't happen again. Never again. Never again.
The horrible scene left us arguing about the unimaginable suffering endured by those who came before us. All we could say was, thank God we weren't born at that time.
Somebody with shackles like that.
Everyone's not light. So even if they see gutter water, they want to taste.
While many have documented the dark history of the slave trade in Badagry, few have shed light on the triumphant story of its abolishment. We are also here to be told how this practice was finally brought to an end. All roads lead to Aoviko quarters. Within the quarters lies the Wawu compound, a landmark of immense historical importance, the spot where the slave trade was officially abolished, freeing countless lives from bondage.
This cannon gun you are looking at here in Badagry was a gift to the Wawu family. In 1843, slave trading was going on, but the Wawu family supported the abolition of the slave trade. People hardly talk about Africans that supported the abolition of slave trade. When we talk about slave abolitions, Africans were involved, because here in Badagry we have 8 quarters, and Europeans of different countries were with different quarters in Badagry that they were doing slave trading. But this family was against them. So they incited their partner against the family, and other families, they were against slave trading. Of course. So this, we call this cannon gun of abolition. So it wasn't as if Europeans just came, and of course they did a lot, we understand. Like William Wilberforce, Granville Shaville, and the rest of them. They did a lot, but they were Africans. They supported the abolition. They were against slave trading. The British Union Jack was first hosted in Badagry in 1843. And the significance of this well is that the family dug the well on the spot that the British first hosted the Union Jack for them to keep the memory. And one of the reasons why the Union Jack was first hosted here was because of the family's involvement in the abolition of the slave trade.
In April this year, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu reiterated his commitment to making Badagry a tourist attraction during the tour of the ancient town and visit to heritage sites.
It's really to just make, Lagos and Badagry in particular a tourist destination for all of our international and local audience to know that we're ready, we're fit, and we're going, across another point, the water, to see for ourselves, the entire journey around slavery, and how Christianity came to the country, how it birthed in Badagry and the rest of it.
So these are the artistic impression of the slave market just left. So that's the dedicated slave market in Badagry. So this is the slave market in Zanzibar. These are rejected slave labor markets. So this is how you can see how the level at which the Africans were reduced to.